The days of earning no interest on our cash is long over in Malaysia, with the amount of financial apps that come up with new products that can help us get some decent benefits. But I'm still surprised that there are a lot of Malaysians that don't seem to know much about this, and they just leave their cash in a bank account, getting them 0.1% every single year. So today, I'll talk through all of the different apps that I'm currently using to store my cash, aka my savings. With Malaysia's inflation expected to be at around 2.8% this year, we need to make sure that we can at least match that so that the value of our money doesn't just erode. Let's get started. So if any of you guys are wondering, no, I do not park any of my money into fixed deposits, so I'll not be talking about that product today. That to me is just a very traditional product that a lot of our parents used back then, and they are also telling us to use the same thing today. In my opinion though, with all of the apps that we have today, there are just many better options out there. Maybe there are some fixed deposits that are offering really good deals that I just don't know about. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just not parking any of my cash into any fixed deposits. So first of all, to start things off, let me just run through some of the criteria that I use in choosing the right app or the right product to park my savings. First off, it needs to have zero or minimal volatility. So this basically means that any money that I park into these accounts, it shouldn't fluctuate in value so much and it shouldn't lose its value. It should only continuously go up. Just to make it clear, I'm not talking about investments today. For investments in the stock market, in crypto and stuff like that, of course, it's unrealistic to never expect a loss. So for those, I'm completely fine with it fluctuating, but I'm not talking about investments. These are more of my savings, something like, let's say, my emergency fund, where I need the value to at least be constant because I never know when I may need it. The trade-off of this, of course, is that the returns, will actually be a bit lower, but that's something I'm willing to accept as long as the volatility is at a minimum. Having said that, my second criteria is that the returns has to be at least 3% a year so that we can beat inflation. Like I said earlier in this video, it's at 2.8%. So my benchmark is it has to be at least 3%. So what this means is that keeping money under my pillow, that doesn't work, or the 9 cents I'm currently getting from my bank account every single month, that doesn't work as well. And the final criteria is liquidity. I don't really want this money to be locked up, or maybe withdrawals are a bit difficult, and this is the main reason why I rule out fixed deposits. FDs, to be fair to them, the returns are actually quite high, the volatility is zero, so they do meet these first two criteria, but because of the lock-in periods, I just don't want it, If it's a few days, I'm fine, but if it's weeks, months, even years, that's just not something that I can accept for this money. Okay, let's get to it. First up on my list are the high yield savings accounts. These are basically bank accounts that will pay us a decent amount of interest just for parking our money there. Right now, of all of them out there, actually I don't know how many of them are already launched, but I currently have money in both Rise and GX Bank. So GX Bank is currently giving us a 3% interest rate every single year, and this is paid daily, whereas Rise is giving a 3.8% interest per year, and this is paid monthly. Something to note though is that the Rise 3.8%, it is a promotion and it's meant to end on the 30th of June 2024. I don't know if they will extend this, they have in the past, so we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know, if they don't have a promo, I don't know what their base rates are, but at the moment, yeah, I am leaving my cash there. If, let's say, they remove this promo and the interest rates are less than 3% or even 0.1%, then
I don't want to use it anymore.
And I do know that there are some other high yield savings accounts as well. I do know, for example, occasionally RHB will send me these emails where they say, keep your money in our savings account and you can get like over 5% returns. So those seem great. But the thing is, there are a lot of criteria to those. Usually it's something like, you have to credit your salary here, you have to deposit a certain amount, you have to pay your bills with a debit card, you have to use your credit card, and then if you do all those things, then you can get the 5.5% returns. That to me is too much of a hassle. I don't like to keep track of all those stuff. I probably won't even spend that much every single month, which is why I just rule out these accounts. I need it to be no frills, just deposit money and then they'll give me the interest, just like what Rise and GX Bank are doing. Anyway, high yield savings accounts, they're great because they're extremely liquid. They are a bank account after all, right? Which means you can do anything that you can do with any other savings account. You can make withdrawals via their debit card, you can transfer it to other people's accounts, or you can even make Do It Now QR payments using their apps. The only difference between these savings accounts and the ones from traditional banks is that these guys, they're paying a high interest, which is why I'm storing my cash here. I also like using GX Bank because they have the savings pocket, so it's easy for me to split my money into different things that I am allocating my money towards. The trade-off for this is that among all of the options that I will be talking about today, these high yield savings accounts, they are giving decent interest, but they are giving the lowest interest among them all. But again, I'm completely fine with this because I know that the reason I'm putting my money here is for the liquidity. So I try not to put too much cash into these accounts. It's mainly for things that I might need sometime soon. So the extra liquidity or the ability for me to withdraw this money instantly, it's a major plus. But yeah, like I said, I try not to put too much money here. Oh, and another benefit of these high yield savings accounts is that since they are banks and they are regulated and licensed by Bank Negara Malaysia, they are also PIDM protected. So this means that out of all of the options that I will be talking about today, these high yield savings accounts, they are the safest. In fact, actually, all of the options I'll be talking about, they are safe, but these are the safest just because they're also PIDM protected. So if any of you guys are, afraid of losing your hard-earned cash, you don't want to take any risk at all, then I guess you could dump all of your money here in these high-yield savings accounts. At least you will get something, but you'll also get the protection of PIDM. Next up, we have money market funds. For those of you who don't know, money market funds, they're essentially unit trusts that invest in extremely liquid investments for the short term. So stuff like fixed deposits, even just normal bank deposits, or sometimes it could be even short-term government bonds. So technically speaking, these are actually investments rather than a savings account that I was talking about earlier. But because the volatility and the risk is so low, it's so close to zero, I do consider this a good place for me to park my cash. I wouldn't really consider this money that I have invested. So there are a few options in Malaysia right now. It seems to be a new competitor every single day. But the ones I'm using right now, it's a mixture of Versa Safe, I'm using Stashaway Simple, and I'm also using KDI Safe, and I'm also using Touch and Go Go Plus. Yes, it sounds like a long list. I have no idea why I'm spreading my money out into so many different platforms. I guess one of the reasons is that I need to test this out for you guys. So yeah, make sure you guys drop a huge thumbs up on this video because I'm doing this for you guys. Anyway, in terms of returns, here's a table. Right now, Stashaway Simple is giving us a projected 3.6% every single year. Versa Safe gives between 3.3 and 3.7% depending on whether you're using the Sharia compliant option or not. And you can also get an extra 1% booster if you also invest into Versa Invest. Currently, I'm not doing that, but I might in the future. So KDI Safe, they have the highest return actually at 4%, but this is capped to only the first 50,000 ringgit. I think after that it goes to 3.5%, and then after that it goes to 3%. And then finally we have Touch and Go Go Plus. So this one, it will actually fluctuate every day, but it won't fluctuate too much. I think they're giving on average around 3.5% per year, and they also pay daily into our Touch and Go Go Plus account. Stashaway also has another version of a money market fund. It's not really a money market fund, but it's similar to it, and it's called the USD Cash Yield, which gives 5.45% right now, making it by far the highest returns out of all of the options that I'm talking about right now. But before you guys decide to dump all of your money there, make sure you check out my video on Stashaway's USD Cash Yield because there are some things that you need to consider. Basically, there is a risk to it. It's not really the same because it is in USD, right? So yeah, if you guys want to check out that video, I'll leave it down in the description below. You can just click that link and watch that video before you decide if this is the right place for you. So generally, these money market funds, they do give a higher return than the high yield savings account. You might say that Rise is giving 3.8%, which is high. It is high, but like I said, there is just a promo. We don't know whether they will continue it or not. But the downside for these money market funds is that one, it is not PIDM protected, and two, the liquidity is a bit lower compared to the savings accounts. KDI, Versa, Stashaway, all of them, they will take at least 2 to 3 business days, I think, for you to withdraw your money. So it's not really ideal for you to dump every single cent that you have into these platforms, because one day, let's say if you have an emergency where you need this cash instantly or immediately, you can't really get it from these platforms. They will take 2 to 3 business days to process and send that money to your bank account. The only exception to this is Touch and Go Go Plus. So Touch and Go Go Plus, technically it is a money market fund, but the way they designed the product is actually pretty good because they make it extremely liquid, just like the other bank accounts. So you can make payments via Touch and Go from the money that you have in Touch and Go Go Plus, and you can also withdraw it or transfer it to any Do It Now account, meaning you can transfer it to your bank account, and then from the bank account you can withdraw that cash to get it instantly. So yeah, in this sense, Touch and Go Go Plus, even though it is a money market fund, it is extremely liquid, which is why I really like it. So what I would do with Touch and Go Plus is that I will always try to max it out at 9,000 ringgit. I think that's a limit on how much you will get in terms of returns. And I would just spend this money whenever I use my Touch and Go e-wallet or whenever I go through toll. I don't mind spending this money. Whenever the value drops, I'll just top it back up all the way to 9,000 ringgit. I've been doing this for over a year now, I think, and so far my returns have been around 375 ringgit. It's not anything crazy, but it's not so bad lah, I guess, you know. It's okay for me to go through the SPE toll, which is incredibly expensive, but it's okay for me to go through it 100 times. So for the rest of the accounts, Stashaway Simple, Versa, KDI, I will usually store my cash in there that I don't really need anytime soon, so I can put a bit more money compared to the savings accounts and Touch and Go, just to get me those extra returns. So yeah, if you guys are interested in signing up for any of these platforms, then you can use my link. I'll leave it down below. It supports the channel and you also get some nice sign-up rewards depending on which platform you choose. Finally, we have the big brother of savings accounts in Malaysia, which is Amanah Saham Bumiputera, or ASB, and this is where I store the majority of my savings. This will give us the highest returns out of all of them, and last year they gave 5.25%. If you're a non-Bumiputera, then unfortunately you cannot get access to ASB, but there are other options from Amanah Saham as well. Just look for any fixed, I think it's called fixed price products. I think there's like Amanah Saham One Malaysia and all those stuff. The returns are not as high, but it's still like, you know, in the 4.5% range, which is still really, really good. To clarify and to make things clear, this is actually a full-on investment because Amanah Saham, they use this money to go and invest in very volatile stuff like equities and stocks and stuff like that. And those things, they do fluctuate in value. So it seems that this invalidates one of my criteria, right? But the good thing is, Amanah Saham, because this is a fixed price product, the value of one unit will always stay at 1 ringgit. It will never go up, it will never go down. The dividends we get is just extra units that we will earn from Amanah Saham. So because of this, because of how it works, I'm okay using this as a savings account. The only problem with ASB is that it's not so liquid. So you can withdraw online, but the limit is 2,000 ringgit every single month. Technically, if you want to withdraw more than 2,000 ringgit, you can go to an Amanah Saham physical branch. I don't know if they have that. Or you could go to any other physical bank branch. So technically, yes, you could go to those branches. You could withdraw more than 2,000 ringgit. You can withdraw as much as you want, and you can get access to the cash instantly within the same day. But the only thing is, you actually have to go to a physical branch, which to me, I guess it's a millennial thing. There's no way I'm going to do that, so I consider this an illiquid savings account. But I do keep most of my long-term savings in Amanah Saham just because, like I said, it gives the highest return out of all of the options that I talked about today. This money is mainly things that, you know, I don't really have an immediate need for it. I don't know what I'm saving for, but at the same time, I don't want to put it into the stock market because, you know, in the future, I never know, I might need this money. This is just me being a bit safe, I guess. I don't want to invest this into stocks, into crypto, but I do want this money to earn me some returns, so I do put it into Amanah Saham. And this is also ideal if you guys are thinking of saving up for a big purchase that could take you maybe years to save up. So things like a car maybe, or your first house, stuff like that. Also very good for you guys to use ASB. There are also other options that are similar to ASB that you can also explore. There is AHB, which is Amanah Hartanah Bumiputera, I think, and then also Tabung Haji, of course. So yeah, these are also options that you guys can use. They are very similar to ASB. So this is where I store all of my savings. Again, this is different from my investment account because for my investments, they're generally higher risk, higher reward, and most of my investments, they are in my brokerage accounts in the form of stocks and ETFs. I know this is a lot, and some of you guys might prefer simplicity. Honestly, maybe even I need to simplify some of this because I have money in way too many different accounts. But yeah, just have a look through this list, see which one works the best for you. Just choose it, even if it's just one account. That's all you can manage. That's completely fine. Just go for it. Anyway, thanks for watching this video to the end, guys. Let me know if I missed any really good option that we can use for a savings account as well. Maybe I can learn something for you guys as well. So yeah, if you guys know any option that I missed out, let me know down in the comments below. See you guys in the next one. If you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. Peace out.